Hey guys, so I wanted to do another job review for a company that I worked for a little bit called Jyve. It's actually a company that is called Jyve, but you're a merchandiser for Kihi Foods, which is like health foods in grocery stores. And I was originally hired to work in Shaw's in my area, which when I was hired on, they told me there would be tons of Shaw's in my area and I'd have tons of places to work at. But you see, the thing about this is with Jive, when you first sign up and everything, you sign up on your phone, Android or iPhone now, and you get little dots on the screen that show what stores currently have a job available. So you'll pick the job, and then it won't be available to anyone else. If it's a longer job, sometimes they split it in two, so two people can go in and work it. But most of the time, it was only one person to the store I would go to. And you would go in that store, you would pull all the pallet of the food for Kihi out of the back room, put it on the floor, and then you would work the products onto the shelves. Now, if there was actually a way to scan the items and find out where they go, that would be great. But there was not. So when you open up the boxes, on the boxes they say this will go on aisle one, this will go on aisle two. So you know what aisle it goes on, but then you have to find out where the item actually goes. Most of the time, this is pretty difficult, especially if you're dealing with spices and stuff. It would take a little bit to figure out where the spices go, and if they move stuff around on the shelves, which they usually do, um, it wasn't always the fastest thing. Now, if the boxes were bigger, like cereal or something, that would be easier to find, of course. Now, not only did you have the boxes like that, but you'd have boxes, I forget what they were called, but they wouldn't have any label on them at all, and you would basically have to search all the aisles or ask someone in the store to find out where they go, because it was like a scavenger hunt, basically. And with these jobs, they would say the job will take anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours, and they would offer different amounts of pay, and that you'd see before the job. Like I remember one I did was $75, or no, it was $50 because they lowered it. It was $50 for 4 hours. But since I had just began, that 4 hours took more like 8 hours because I really didn't know where anything went. And as I was going along, I noticed, because I've been a merchandiser in the past and I usually can find stuff pretty fast. I noticed that, you know, a lot of the jobs I was seeing were like 60, $70 for like 5 hours or so. But with all the time it takes to find the products that aren't labeled and everything, it sometimes takes much over that. So basically, you gain like $10 an hour at one point, but if you can't find the items, you can work as long as you want, but you're only getting paid that original amount because they don't pay hourly. They actually pay per box that you put out. And some of these stores would have a lot of overstock from the original rep that didn't work the product out properly, and you'd have to work that too. So you're essentially not really getting paid $10 an hour. It actually ends up being a lot less. But if you can work really fast and get everything out, then you are getting $10 an hour. They actually, after I left, 3 weeks later, they sent me my badge, which I no longer need. But it was a nice badge that I would have liked to have when I was in the store. So I don't really need this anymore. But yeah, so I didn't last too long at this job. I mean, if you have a flexible schedule and you know the grocery store scene, you can work out products fast, this would probably be a good job for you, a good side job, because you're an independent contractor, so you don't really work for them. Um, you work on the side whenever you want. It's just like, I think you have to work a store. You can't like go 3 weeks or something without working a store. You have to work one every week or so. But they have them usually all over the place. They said they just didn't have enough in my area, and I didn't have a car at the time, so using an Uber to get there and everything was eating up all my profits. So it really wasn't worth it for me. But maybe you guys will like it. Check it out. It's Jyve in the App Store. Yeah, so I hope it works for everyone else. See you later.